All right, welcome to Car Shopping Mistakes Live. This is our Monday, May 12th episode. We are live Monday through Thursday at from 12 to about 1:30. My name is Deshone. I'm known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. And what I do is make sure that people like you never overpay for cars. That's what we've been doing for the last 4 years online. And I spent over 14 years in the auto industry. Worked for General Motors for 5 years, Mercedes-Benz for 5 years, had my own new car brokerage. And now I focus on making sure you have the strategies you need from the inside. So what you're going to see is my perspective is very different, being inside dealers for 14 years. Um, and so you can feel free to start typing your questions. Again, we are live every Monday through Thursday. You can mark your calendar so you don't miss a show at 12 noon Eastern time. And no question is off limits. There's really nothing that I think is going to catch me off guard. So, feel free to start throwing your questions out. First of all, who's shopping for a car? If you're shopping now or you will be shopping in the next 6 months, uh, type me in the comments who's shopping or will be shopping in the next 6 months, because what you're going to see is you don't want to wait. A big part of what I teach is making sure you're positioned to get great deals, which is not waiting until it's an emergency. Now, sometimes you have an emergency, your car is totaled, your car was stolen, you have less than 30 days with your rental car and you have to get a car. That's different. But we don't want to go into a 30, 50, $100,000 transaction waiting to the last minute. So who's shopping for a car? Let us know in the chat. Let me know. Hey, yours truly. Great to see you. Great to see you on YouTube. We are live on 4 platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So I have my man Dolan, the best moderator in the world, bringing your questions in. So no matter what platform you're on, you can start typing your questions. Now, this whole stream is going to be sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. If you look on Goodreads.com, thank you to everyone who has reviewed the book. You've sent me your stories. You sent me your testimonials. You sent me your deals. Continue to do that. I love getting those emails. It makes a big difference. People like Marie, she got 13,000 off using the book, using the steps. It's a simple do-it-yourself blueprint to, really, really maximizing all the money in your car deals. And you can get a copy for the next 2 hours for 75% off. It's normally $97, but as part of our book launch special, you got your copy for 75% off, $24. So you can go to my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. We have a link for you, and you can grab your book. You won't leave the stream, and you can come on back. Feel free to ask as many questions as your heart desires. All right. Good to see you, Nikki. Happy Monday. Great to see you. All right. So, okay, Dolan, let's start bringing in the first question. I want to check in on Instagram. And yours truly on YouTube asks, which fees can be negotiated on an offer for a used car? Great question. There's only 3 legitimate fees on every car when you're purchasing it pre-owned. Doc fee. Some people, you'll hear people say, "Oh, doc fees are made up fee." It's a legitimate fee. In fact, when you look on the purchase order, which is that long form after you get your car, you'll see it's oftentimes it's printed on there. So is it all profit for the dealership? Yes, it is, but it also is legitimate. Um, your DMV fees, plates, license, registration, and your taxes. So those are the legitimate fees. Now, what are not legitimate fees? Anything that's not those 3. The prep fee, the marketing fee, the service plan internet fee. All of these things are absolutely made up. Absolutely made up. Now, what you're seeing now is you'll see, and this is why you never want to go into the dealership looking for a car that you didn't see online first. Online is where we create the competition. Once you're there, we've lost our leverage. That's why everything we teach is called Cars from Home. 99% of your transaction can and should be done from home, where you can see that fine print, where you can actually you can see the dealers who don't have the fake fees before you get out there and waste your time with the ones who do. So you'll see all types of made up fees. Now, what is also being made up, let's go a little deeper on this, is the people, the all right, if I put a mandatory service plan on my car, it's not, there's value there. It's not like the internet fee, which is just a ripoff, or the prep fee, which is just a ripoff. There's a service plan built in. Okay, then we have to determine if there's value there for us. There's a key replacement built in. But here's how I would like you to think, yours truly, and anyone who's in a similar situation. You'll be shocked. Anyone who'll be shopping for a used car, type the letter U. I want to drop a couple things for you to keep in mind and lock in. If you're going to be shopping for a pre-owned car, type the letter U. So yours truly, when we're looking at cars, what we want to do is we want to see, oh, sorry, hold on. I'm just, oh, thank you to everyone who shared this broadcast with a friend. I appreciate it. If everyone shares with one friend, we'll change the auto industry in less than a year. So you want to look at, as you're looking online, you want to be able to see the low side of the market for the car you're shopping for. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're shopping for once you have your budget, you want to try to get as new of a car as possible. If you don't see cars in that budget, go 1 year back. I always like to do 100 miles. You don't want to just do this neighborhood shopping, because here's again, as someone who's been in dealerships or who was in dealerships for 14 years, I can never be in dealerships now. No dealership I wouldn't want to work in a dealership, but there's no person who could tell you guys the unfiltered truth and be in a dealership. They're going to get fired. So, but here's what you'll see. The total cost is what matters relative to how much the car was when it was brand new. I don't want you to pay attention to what they're offering the car for, because that is a made up number based on algorithms and market. Who's ever seen somebody, sometimes you're on a website and it'll say, this car it's a fair deal, it's a good deal, it's a great deal. Who's seen that? That's based on an algorithm. It doesn't actually, it's not real value. Here's what's real value. Let's say you're looking at 4 Honda Pilots. They're asking $22,000 for one, $23,000 for the other, $24,000 for the other, $25,000 for the other. So 22, 23, 24, 25, right? Now you're looking and you're like, well, these cars look a little similar. You know, this one, what's the best deal? Once you get the new window sticker of that Honda Pilot, you'll see one of these Honda Pilots was $45,000 when it was new. This other one was $46,000 when it was new. But this other one was $53,000 when it was brand new. And that's the one that's actually giving me the biggest discount. That's the value. Without knowing the original price of that car, we can't determine what value we're getting in the price they're offering us. And when we don't do this, we make this mistake. We end up doing what some people did during the pandemic. They paid the same price for pre-owned cars as they were when they were new. Everyone didn't do that, but a lot of people did because they thought this was my only option. There were people who paid $27,000 for a Toyota Camry that was brand new, $28,000. This is how we prevent that. When we call that in Cars from Home, in my book, the true value discount. And this is how I bought my Infiniti truck. I was literally looking at 3 of them. 4 of them. They all had similar prices from 30 to 31.8. And literally the one of them was 46, one of them was 48, one of them was 52, and one of them was 55. So when you do that math, and I have a calculator in my book that does it for you, but it's simple. You just put the MSRP in and you create and you divide the asking price into the MSRP. And you'll see, oh wow, this deal is giving me 42% off. This deal is giving me 30% off. So you see how simple it is now to shop when you look at it, when you're looking at it that way. Oh, this deal is giving me 30% off the original price. This deal is giving me 44% off the original price. Then you weigh those things out. Now, how, I know what some of you are thinking, Deshone, how do we get the original window sticker? You get the original window sticker. Some brands have it on the Carfax. They have a deal with Carfax. And then sometimes you can Google Maroney label. You're looking for this. I'll show a picture of Maroney label. That's a window sticker. This is what you're looking for. Maroney label. And you can do window sticker, new window sticker. There is a service out there that gets them for $5. Again, I'm not affiliated with it, but here's what you should be looking at. That $5 is like my inspection on a home. I'm only doing this for my top 3 to 5 cars. Top 3 to 5. And once I get that, boom, I'm gonna now if you're not doing this, there's no way you can get great deals on used cars. It is literally impossible because all you're doing is basing it off of smoke and mirrors. So I'm here to tear back, to reveal this whole industry is smoke and mirrors. It's all about psychology, and it's not about you winning. It's about dealers making you think you won. Hold up. Wait. Wings Buff on Instagram said the audio is not working. I smell sabotage towards you. Let me know if the audio is not coming through clear. Let me know, and we'll try to adjust it. I don't know. Yes, exactly, Amanda. It's called real value. Real value. We call it the true value discount. That's what it's called. So it's biggest discount from the original price. So when you're out looking for pre-owned cars, your only mission is to look at, you can ask the dealer sometimes, hey, you got the original price of the car? Again, you don't buy a new car without it. Thanks, Creole Queen. I appreciate it. She said on TikTok, we're fine on TikTok. I don't know why it may be coming through different on Instagram, but maybe log out, log back in, and let us know if it's something that is just coming through on Instagram. But you'll see the difference. Type $ if y'all understand that before we move on, because we got a lot more questions coming in. But without getting the new car price of the used car, it's impossible. We can make up a price. We can literally just make up a price. Oh, we're asking $32,000 for the car. How do you know that's a good price? But when you know, oh, that car was originally $61,000, they're asking $32,000 for it. Oh, I saw another one over here. They're asking $30,000, but the original price was $50,000. It's not a good, you get what I'm saying? Lower price, which is what most people flock to. Oh, this one over here is $1,000 less. But that $1,000 less is getting you $8,000 less vehicle. Okay? Type $. All right, yours truly said she's good. Did y'all get that? Y'all getting this? Let me know if y'all getting this. All right. Thanks, Sweet Now. All right. We are live. This is our Monday, May 12th show. We do these shows Monday through Thursday, 12 noon to about 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll also rebroadcast the replay throughout the day. So if you couldn't catch it live, definitely catch the replay, and you'll be able to catch up on anything you missed. EJ, great to see you on Facebook. How do I buy a Tesla since they only are online and at one price? Great question. You don't negotiate with Teslas because they are actually one price. So when you look at a Tesla, you're actually looking at something none of the car dealers do, but they want to make you think they do it. One price, which means when you come into a Tesla in New Jersey, same price in California. Same price in Florida, same price in North Dakota. Every other brand Every single car is individually owned and operated. Every car dealership. And, you know, I remember like somebody came on the show and said, oh, Nissan is overpriced. I said, no, whatever Nissan dealer you went to was overpriced. There's another one probably 10 miles away. There's another one 15 miles away. There's probably 8 more of them within 25 or 30 miles. When they can make you think, oh, we're all the same, they got you. Big mistake. Very expensive mistake. Thinking every dealer is the same. They're all different. Even the ones that are owned by the same people, most times are still in some competition with each other. But Tesla, unless you're buying a pre-owned one price, no matter where you go, no negotiation. That's what it is. No other brand is like that, though. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Good to see you, Nia. Good to see you, Chantel Davis. Vanessa, good to see you, Maze of Empathy. Jonas checking in on TikTok. Great to see everybody checking in. Yes, exactly. Now, I'm actually pulling up something from my first book. It was called 52 Car Buying Questions Smart People Don't Ask that cost them thousands. One of the things one of the questions was, you know, how, when, and why should you visit a car dealership? How, when, why? There's only 3 reasons to be in a car dealership. 3 reasons. That's it. You're there to pick up your car because they don't deliver. You're there to test drive a car, or you are there to have your car that you're selling them appraised. That's it. You're meeting with the used car manager to have a car appraised. That's it. Everything else we do at home if you want to get the same results that the people are getting who are getting. Look, this is Christopher. Thanks so much for these resources. Read your entire book last night. I've already been underway trying to put my deal together. What a great book. I have my quotes together, and now I'm ready to take the next step with the calculator. Now, what he's talking about, notice he said I have my quotes, plural, because we teach something called the 25 to 5 strategy. You're connecting with 25 dealers. This is for new cars and leases. Different process for used cars. You're connecting with 25 dealers online. I'd show you how to do that in 20 minutes. This is not car buying school. We're getting these cars and these deals in literally less time than it takes you to visit one dealership and buy a car. You'll be there for 8-9 hours. We'll put in a couple hours over a couple days. And I'm getting them. Eventually, you'll be able to be as quick as me. I get cars in 60 minutes. Does not matter what I want. 60 minutes. If I'm following up on a deal a couple months, maybe 90 minutes is going to take me. You'll get there eventually, but in the beginning, take you a couple hours from home. Because what you're doing is you're creating a competition. You're using the internet to create a competition. So we get 5 offers on every car. We will not buy a car without 5 offers, because the only way that you're going to see the 80%, we call them the 80%. That's 80% of dealers that are overpriced. The only way you're going to see that is to get 5 offers. It's going to blow your mind. That's when the veil is lifted. The first time, now, if you want to do it your way, you want to call around, get the offers, call around, ask for it, try to not, fine, do it that way. As long as you talk to enough dealers to get 5 offers, because then you're going to see, whoa, they've been playing me. How is it that I'm shopping for the same car? I called and got the same. I called on this Hyundai Sonata. One dealer's telling me it's $480 a month. One dealer's telling me it's $450 a month. One dealer's telling me it's $420. One dealer's telling me it's $375. Another dealer's telling me it's $340. That's when you know you did it right. So and here's how you know you've done it right. If you don't see a $3,000 to $5,000 spread from your best offer, which we call the 20% dealers, to the worst offer, you didn't shop correctly. We have people all around the country. We've been helping people since 2021. In fact, during the pandemic, we had people really killing it because they were selling their cars for 7 grand, 12 grand more, putting that equity in their bank, doing leases, no money down. So it was a phenomenal time for people who had cars to replace and were making dealers bid to get their new cars. So doesn't matter the market. But until you actually do it, you're not going to, it's harder for you to believe it. You get what I'm saying? It's harder for you to believe, wait, you mean 8 out of 10 dealers are overpriced? 8 out of 10. That's why you must get 5 offers for you to see, wow. My highest offer is $200 a month more, and that's my local dealer. That's the dealer that's 20 minutes away, because oftentimes some of your closest dealers, when they see your zip code, they'll be like, oh, this person is not going to shop us. Let's give them this offer. It's that dealer that's 45 minutes away, an hour away, when they get your notification on their website and they're like, whoa, okay, this is a person in our competitor's market. Let's take this deal from our competitor. It's going to blow your mind. And then it'll be changed. Right now, you're just being exposed to the information. And the same thing on used cars. The best value used cars are $3,000 to $5,000 less than the highest price used cars. It's just what it is, because 80% of dealers are going to, even when they say it's their best deal. Who's had a dealer say that to them? That's our best deal. That's the best deal we can do. Listen, that's the best deal we can do. Who's had that? Raise your hand. Who's in their car buying purchase, in their shopping, has heard a dealer at any time say, hey, that's it. That's the best deal we got, right? They're not lying. They're just not going to do, they'd rather you leave and they'll sell the car to someone else, because they're like, we're not going lower than this. But here's the thing, their competition will. That's their best offer. It's not their competition's best offer. So it's very important to understand that. Okay? All right, let's go, Dolan. Let's keep it going. Next question. Oh, good day. I'm glad you got the book, EJ. Use it. Win. Send me your success stories. Continue to just follow it step by step. Ask yourself, what step am I on? It's like a checklist. Boom, that step's done. Go to the next one. Boom, check. Go to the next one. Hey, I'm looking for a car right now. I have 7 to 10 grand. Which way should I go? Well, I mean, if that's your budget, you probably can look for, and this is not what I teach, but I do have we call this a smart car. It's not that type of smart car. The little one stands for saving money at the right time. And if I got 7 to 10, what I'm looking for, I'm on Facebook. I'm looking for something. See, and this depends on what you need. See, needs, you pay for 5 things in a car. You pay for 5 things. Remember this. Size. So anyone who's like, oh man, I need to save money. Here's what and let me actually tell you why I want you to know this. When I was in Mercedes-Benz, right? We had people come in. I remember a woman came in. She's like, okay, I got kids. I need the one with the 3 rows. All right. So she needed the one with the 3 rows. We go through it. We pick it out. Once we get her a price on it, it's way outside of her budget. Now, here's what she says. Oh, what about the one, the 2-row one? Now, my question to her, because I'm an advisor, even when I was a car salesperson, I was still, and my brand was Mr. Mercedes. So the people who are in New Jersey, I created the Mr. Mercedes brand. And I said, didn't you tell me you had kids and you needed the 3rd row? She said, oh, yeah. So I said, why are we even discussing a 2-row vehicle then? She's like, yeah, no, you're right. I'm like, this is just not the vehicle for you. And that's okay. But the worst thing you can do is to go smaller than you need on a vehicle, because now you're not gonna like the vehicle in literally the vehicle's not functional for you. So size is very important. That's why I created something called the smart sacrifices. When the budget starts to get tight, You have to know, what can I take out? So size, amenities. Amenities is, do I need the leather? Do I need the navigation? Do I need the sunroof? Do I need the big sunroof? Do I need the wheels, the fancy wheels? These are amenities. You got power. You pay for power. Do I need the engine? Do I need the bigger engine? Can I go with the standard engine? And then here's where the money starts to really go high. Class. So you look at Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Okay, that's class. You go to the next class, you're looking at, let's go Infiniti, Acura, Lincoln, Genesis. These are the next class, which means you can have a vehicle, same size, same amenities. It's 10,000, 15,000 more, different class. Then we go, and of course you have Mercedes, BMW, Jaguars, somewhere in between, Lexus. These are going up in class. So, and then the last thing you pay for, which is really expensive, is exclusivity. So when you have a vehicle, oh, no one else has this vehicle, you're going to pay for that. You can have a super small vehicle, it doesn't have a lot of features, but no one has it, it's a ton of money. So as you're looking at your car with a $7,000 to $10,000 budget, you got to ask yourself, what can I take out? And I say, don't let it be size. Go with the smallest vehicle that will suit your needs, and then get the lowest number of amenities that'll suit your needs, the lowest amount of power, and then you look for the most recent vehicle. And I would look for something, let's just say, for example, someone's looking at a Mazda 3. It's a $25,000 vehicle, brand new. I don't need the leather. I don't need the fancy stuff. I don't need a big bunch of power. I could probably find one for 10 grand that's not too old, maybe about 5-6 years old, if I'm looking correctly. But you have to know what you can live without, because if you go and do what most people do, most people are not going to listen to what I'm saying. They're going to go out and they're going to buy a big SUV with leather and all the features, and then they're going to get a 9-year-old one with no warranty because there's just no discipline there. See, the things I'm talking about, the disciplined people, the people who are financially astute, who's like, Deshone, I never knew that car buying was this serious. How, like, I'm overspending by $5 grand every car, a minimum. There's no way that you're not. So these things weren't taught to you. None of us were taught how to buy a car. We were literally indoctrinated into, this is how you get cars, ladies and gentlemen. And who indoctrinated us into that? The auto industry. The auto industry. No one told us, oh, create competition, shop for cars like you shop for other things online. There is an internet, no one taught us that. So you have to say to yourself, all right, boom, I got to unlearn so that I can relearn the new way to make sure every time I get a car that I love and I get the most for my money, which is not what most people are doing out here. There's blood in these streets. You hear people, oh, there's no cars, there's no deals. They're walking in the dealer saying this stuff. Like, you're going into a person who wants to sell you something and giving them all the strategy, all the ammunition to sell you, raise the price. Hey, man, I've been looking for this car. Not many people has it. Cha-ching. Thank you for telling me that. Oh man, the tariffs are coming too, right? I hear the tariffs are coming, so things are getting more expensive, right? Yep, absolutely. Yes, they are, Mr. Customer. Thanks for saying all of this stuff. That's how most people buy cars. That's why the auto industry is just printing money on the public. So you got to change your behavior, and that's what we do here. And it's easy and it's fun. You look at the people, look, and we'll take some more questions because I see we got one that just came from Nurse Gregory. I got you on TikTok. So this is our Monday, May 12th live show. So we are live. You can feel free to type your question. We rebroadcast this show throughout the day, but we are live every Monday through Thursday at 12. So, but look, when you look at the confidence from Brian, look, just finalized my deal. First ever lease using your system, 2025 Honda HR-V Sport, $30,000 MSRP, $395 a month, 1.2 ratio. That means he understands how to value leases when he's putting his ratio. 12,000 miles, 36,000 miles, 36 months, no money down. Initial quote was 434. Then he used our calculator, and the counter offer it came down to 394. Listen to the confidence. Look, I bought your book, use your system, just closed my deal, have positive results to report. A caveat is I wanted a newly released 2026 Genesis, not even out yet, not even out, GV70. And there are no incentives. I could have gotten incentives on the 2025. However, I wanted the 2026, was willing to pay. I reached out to 20 dealers. We show you how to reach out to 25, but on a Genesis, may not have been as many dealers because it's more of a luxury brand. As they haven't built as many dealers for Genesis yet. He says he received 9 offers. Look, that's how we know when you're doing it right. 5 offers, 9 offers, 7 offers. How many offers do you get? Thanks, y'all, for running those likes up on TikTok. Could y'all just keep double tapping the screen every time you hear something you like? You're going to see those likes continue to run up. See, this is it. I'm happy with this. Look, he gets an $815 a month payment on a $58,000 vehicle, 1.4. Now, again, 1.4 is incredible value when you add up those payments relative to the MSRP and taxes. Our goal with leases is to be under 1.5%. Now, I know for a fact he could have gotten about 1.2 on a 2025 Genesis because I just saw a person who's using our system get that. Phenomenal deal. But he wanted that 2026. So he gets his bids. And again, until you see the other offers that are 150, if every single time you get a car, you're not seeing $3,000 to $5,000 minimum from the car you get to the other offers that were offered to you, then you weren't shopping correctly. And again, if you want to do it yourself, you want to call around to get quotes, feel free to do that. We do this all online without talking. Who doesn't like to talk to dealers? Type me in the chat. You don't like to talk to dealers. So the people who are using our stuff, they're not going in trying to remember, oh, I'm in the dealership now. Let me say, what did Deshone tell me to say? All right. Oh, man, I'm not supposed to tell them about my trade-in. That's old 2005 stuff that car dealers been on. We've been knew about that stuff, that you were holding your trade-in till the end. That's why we're going to ask you questions that you're not really ready for. Hey, Paul. Hey, good to see you, Paul. Thanks for jumping in, coming in today. The car you drove up in, whose car is that? That's what you've been driving for a couple of years? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's yours. Okay, perfect. So we are already trained to ask you questions that we're going to get the information. So the only way, I'm not training you to go in and do battle and negotiate with someone who negotiates 3 times a day, 5 days a week. When you step back, start making dealers negotiate with themselves. That's what bidding is. You're going to see, whoa, it's easier to save money from home than it ever was going in a dealership. All right. Good to see you, Jamel, on YouTube checking in. Good to see you, Paul, on Facebook checking in. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And for those who, hold on, let me see. Do I got any sharers? Who shared the broadcast? Raise your hand so far. Raise your hand so far if you shared the broadcast with a friend or if you hit the share button. Nurse Gregory? All right, Nurse Gregory, send me a DM. You got a free copy of my book. Let's see. That's it. I don't think we have any. No, if you share now, it's too late. So I wanted let me see. Because Nurse Gregory, you have been on the show for a little minute. See, I do that stuff every now and then. I do that stuff every now and then. That's why when I ask you guys, like, to help me get this message out so we can help more people, you never know when I'm going to just say, you know what? You got a free copy of the book. So, I ask you guys to continue to share this broadcast so that we can help more people. Like, this is not about, because follow me. until most of the country is actually shopping from home, it makes our job shopping from home a little bit harder, because literally dealers know on a weekend, they come to us on Friday, hey, how many appointments we got? We got 200. 200 over the weekend. So they expect you guys to walk in. So until that goes from 200 to 100, and they're like, whoa, what's going on here? Whoa, people are not really walking in anymore. We're getting half the appointments. Oh, wait, what's going on? We only have 50 appointments. Memorial Day weekend, we got 100. We're normally at 300 appointments over Memorial Day weekend. So until we start doing this collectively, it's hurting. It makes all of our jobs a little bit harder. So that's why I appreciate the people who share the broadcast. Yep, send me a DM. Okay, so let's go. We got more questions coming in, so pull them up, Dolan. Let's go. And this whole stream is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. And, I'm reading a couple of the testimonials. Thank you to the people on Goodreads who reviewed that book. Thank you so much. And it's normally $97, but as part of our welcome offer, you can get yours for $24. That's 75% off. You can go to my TikTok bio. It's only for 2 hours. So once that 2-hour timer goes to zero, price does go back up to $97. So head to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Grab yours for $24. Save you 75%, and just use it. It's a step-by-step blueprint checklist to dominating the car market. Okay? And someone remind me to talk about the 3 pillars of great car deals before I end the show. Please, the 3 pillars of great car deals. We got about another 45 minutes, but remind me before we end the show. If you don't operate with the 3 pillars, there's no way you can get a great car deal. And I know this sounds like bad news, but I can't get you the good news. I'm like a financial doctor. And we have financial cancer when it comes to cars. So it's not a pleasant thing, but we can get you to the other side. You're losing a ton of money. You're losing equity. You don't even know you can sell cars without the title that you haven't paid off yet. You don't know you can sell leases. All of this stuff is costing you thousands and thousands of dollars, but we can get you to the other side. Third, so nowadays, it's always better to just buy new, especially if you plan on keeping the car long term. No, absolutely not. If I'm keeping the car long term, there's something. So step 1 in our book is called the 8-year rule. It's the 8-year rule. Who's always wanted to know what's better, buying or leasing? Type me if you've always been like, Deshone, I hear about buying, I hear about leasing. When is it better? When is it better to buy? When is it better to lease? Who's had that question? We have an anchor called the 8-year rule, which answers the question. The next car you're buying, how many years are you planning to keep it? Type it in the chat. We had a bunch of people that said they'll be shopping. The next car you're going to be purchasing, how many years do you plan to keep it? Okay, Nurse Gregory, I see 5. Okay, let's get some more answers. How many years do you plan on keeping the next car you are going to purchase? 2 to 3 years, Jamel Singletary. Perfect. Good to see you, Jamel. Rain King Leo on Instagram, 2 to 4 years. Perfect. Okay. Paul on Facebook says as long as possible. You got to go with a year. See, that's the reason why. See, the longest possible, well, give me a year, a number of years, because you're going to see people be like, oh, I plan on keeping that car, and I didn't do the research to even find out that the car wouldn't last that long. So, I'm not going to buy certain cars planning to keep them as long as possible, because it says literally around 100,000 miles, I'm going to start having problems with them. So if I buy them pre-owned, then I get to 80,000 miles. I mean, car starts having, so we need years. Mel Nelson on Facebook, 9. Paul, I see you, 10. Okay, Danielle Rosario on YouTube, 5 at least. So check this out. Roashu, I'm sorry, I probably butchered your name, on Instagram, 6. All right, DJ Ant Nice on TikTok, 6. Okay, 8-year rule says If your answer to that question was 8 years or longer, you should be shopping for a purchase, new or pre-owned, depending on your budget. Now, if your answer was less than 8, then you should be shopping for a lease. Both of these things come with caveats. Below market. Not these lease deals you see on commercials. Those are not lease deals. I don't even call them deals. None of those prices, as you guys see me share the leases that my students get all around the country and the people who read my book, you're going to be like, wait a minute. Those don't sound anything like the prices I see on the commercials. They're not. We get below market leases. And most of the time with no money down. We always shop with no money down. On a purchase, you need a below market purchase. Again, you should see $3,000 to $5,000 above on other cars that you didn't buy. So the car you got, whether you're purchasing it or leasing it, it should be $3,000 to $5,000 below the other offers that you've seen, the other cars that you've seen online. So when we look and say, do we go new or pre-owned? And I know some of you got shocked with who was taught never lease a car. Like when I just said the 8-year rule, and I said, hey, all of you who your answer Jamel 2 to 3, you should be shopping for a below market lease. Dario, YouTube, you should be shopping for a below market lease. Madison, Marv on Instagram, below market lease. Yep. Rain, you've had your car for 3 years. You're already debating getting rid of it. You should be shopping for a below market lease. Yep. Nurse Gregory, below market lease. DJ Ant Nice, below market lease. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You can ask why. But raise your, if you were taught never get a lease, never lease a car, let us know in the chat and we'll handle that. But I want to answer the rest of this question because he asks, is it always better to buy new? So if his answer, for those of you who said, I'm keeping more than 8 years, I'm not breaking the 8-year rule, I'm shopping, don't think about leasing. You're keeping at least 8 years, leasing should not even be in your vocabulary. Now, new or pre-owned. That's based on 2 things. First is budget, because you want to go over your needs and say, what do I need? Can I get everything I need in a car for my budget? New? No. Most times, you can't. So if you have a large budget and you're like, Deshone, I could actually go new or pre-owned. What should I get? Now that's a matter of your values. The values say, I've had 2 groups of people, long-term people. When I was in dealerships, some of you know I was with Mercedes for 5 years, General Motors for 5 years. I've been in the auto industry for 14 years. People would say, Deshone, man, I only get a new car. I'm like, yeah, I only get a new car every 10 years. That's why I get my new car. I'm going to treat myself. That's values. Now, some people say, well, I could afford both, but you know what? I want to knock 20, 30, 40% off the price. That's values. So it's a matter of your values. If you can afford both. But no, there's no one-size-fits-all formula. That's what got you guys in trouble. That's where you get in trouble at. Listening to people online and say, all of you should do this. All of you who's heard people say, this is the funniest thing in the world to me. Who's heard people say, some teachers, car gurus who've only bought 30 cars in their life, they think they're a guru. Who's heard them say, never buy a new car? No one should ever buy a new car, ever. Who's heard that? Who's heard that? Who's heard that? I'm going to tell y'all how funny this is and how bad this advice is. And one day, if I would love to be on a panel with like people who talk cars. All I need is 10 minutes. We're gonna rip them from leasing down to everything. So everyone should buy a used car, right? Oh, wait, I don't want to talk about your dad though, Miss Uday. She said I heard it from my dad. All right, but your dad probably is not saying everyone should buy used cars. There are people who say, all right, Paul, you've heard it. All right, Rain King Leo, you've heard it. So let me ask you a question. If we ask some of these people who swear, hey, none of you should ever buy, and they talk to millions of people, and they preach this, no one should ever buy a used car. So here's the question. how do the cars become used? If no one should buy a pre-owned car, if no one should buy a new car, rather, how do the cars become used? So let's just say you could snap your fingers. So if you had it your way, no one would buy a used car. No one would ever buy a used car, ever. So you snap your fingers, that would be your wish, right? Yes, exactly. So how do the cars become used then? So if something that you're suggesting could not get 100% market penetration, it's not a good idea. It's not realistic. There are people who should be leasing new cars below market. When you lease a car, you get a brand new car that year, 2025, all the latest and greatest. You're the first driver, unless you get a demo, which has maybe, it's a couple months old, within a couple thousand miles. But other than that, it's a new car. That's what you're leasing. Got to get multiple offers or they're going to overcharge you. You'll go in, you try to go in and, hey, work me up a lease deal. You'll be like, whoa, this doesn't sound like what Deshone said those leases were. That's gotta say, because we don't go into dealerships to get lease prices. We stay at home and get multiple prices from home. You're walking into an 80% dealer. But yes, that's the difference. So the 8-year rule is to be your anchor for when I should actually be buying or leasing. And then once you go and say, I'm buying because I'm keeping 8 years, then you let your budget dictate whether you're going to shop new or used. And then you if you could afford both, it's a matter of your values. You want to treat yourself to a new car because you can afford it, make sure you get a below market deal, multiple offers, or do I want to get a pre-owned car so I can knock 20, 30, 40% off the price? Okay. All of this is in my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get your copy for 75% off for the next 2 hours. That's our welcome offer. And you'll have everything I teach about how to get below market leases, below market purchases, below market bank bidding wars. We created something called the bank bidding war. For those of you who are going to need a loan, where do you get your loan from? Some of you say the dealer. Some of you say, oh, I get it from my credit union. Some of you say, oh, I get it from my bank. This needs to be a bid. Because whenever you're doing it like that, you don't know. How do you know for sure that that was the best interest rate you could have got? 2 points on a loan could be $2,000. 2 points. So if somebody said, oh, I'm paying 6.9, but you could have got 4.9, literally thousands of dollars. So, and again, that goes into the 3 pillars of great car deals. We haven't discussed that yet. We'll do that before the end of the show. All right, let's go. More. Oh, by the way, for those of you who I didn't finish the sentence, you want your copy at 75% off instead of the $97, which is the normal price. You get it for $24. Head to my TikTok bio. There's a link there. Click it, and then head to my Instagram bio. There's a link there, and then we have a comment in the Facebook and YouTube comments for you to grab your copy for 75% off. Once it's 2 hours expires, goes back up to $97, and it's still worth every penny because, as you can see, Marie used it and she saved $13,000. So what's her return on the investment of $24? Just wanted to reach out, say thank you. Using your guide, which is the book, I saved over $13,000 off MSRP, got my payment to be hundreds lower per month and maintenance included, no money down. Just wanted to say thank you. Keep sending me these emails, y'all. I love bringing these emails onto the show. Like our world, that what we do with these cars it's a whole different world. Like that's a great show, but it's also our life. Like different, it's a different world. We operate in a different world. I got a lot of books on my shelf here. I cannot tell you books that actually give me ROI like Cars from Home. Like she bought a $24 book, even she might have got it for $97. And she saved $13,000 on one transaction. What about her? What about her significant other if she has one? What about her children? What about her family and her household? What about when her mom or dad needs a car? It's endless ROI for one investment. Okay. So shout out to everybody that got their copy. Please keep sending me your emails. I love getting them. Let's go, Dolan. Next question. Awesome, DJ and Nice. You're gonna love it. Like, let me just say this one thing. Keep Dario's Dario from YouTube. Keep his question up. But I want to say this to you, DJ and Nice. My niece, she's 20. Some of you heard me talk about her on earlier streams. She told me, listen, Uncle, when she asked me, what should I do? I said, I knew she's not keeping the car 8 years. I asked her because there are some young people who just are not into cars. Like they will literally drive one car long term. But typically in your 20s, things are changing, jobs are changing, families changing. Your needs for the car may change. So I'm like, listen, 8-year rules. You should be shopping for a lease. You're going to save way more money. Most people go out there and they'll tell you go buy a used car, and they'll put you in a used car for $300, $400, $15,000 is only, that's $300 a month. They'll go and put you in a $400 payment, $20,000 used car, $18,000 used car. You barely got a warranty. Maybe you got no warranty. So in a year, 2 years, you better have a tow truck on speed dial, just so you never know. You get what I'm saying? Not saying it's a bad car. Used cars, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, no warranty. You better have roadside assistance. So I said, let's do this. Pick a new car, go drive one, pick one under $30,000. Because she said, I would like my payment to be like, under $350. I'm like, all right. She's got her credit to where it needs to be. This is why we should have our young people with their first credit card early, or as a what's the term? It's slipping my mind. When we add our our people to our account as parents, authorized user. And so she goes out, she drives the Hyundai Sonata. I said, okay, perfect. She said, I like the car. We get her offers. We started getting offers for her Thursday. By Saturday morning, her best offer was $338. We sent out counter offers because I have a counter offer calculator in my book. So when we get the offers, this stuff takes you minutes. Again, I'm not inviting anyone to college to be a car salesman. I'm inviting you to a system that will help you get cars in 90 minutes. So we get her offers. We send out the counter offer. We're probably going to land somewhere around because she only needs 10,000 miles. She's probably going to be about $295. Brand new car, 2025, $26,000 car. And so compare that. You get what I'm saying? So when you say DJ, and that was my experience. When I worked for General Motors, I went and leased my Pontiac. My boss is the one who showed me how to do it. I didn't even understand leasing. I was 22. He said, listen, even though I was selling leases, I was just a number. Most car salesmen are this. Y'all, this sound familiar? All right. That's what you want, sir? You like the car? Is this the color? Okay. Let me go get the numbers from my manager. You get what I'm saying? They don't understand the numbers. And that's how I was at 22. I didn't understand the numbers until I got hired at Ray Katina. And Ray Katina, all his salespeople are finance managers too. So that's where I learned the numbers. But before that, I didn't know how this thing worked. But anyway, I'm leasing my first car, $256 a month, Pontiac G6. Brand new car. My other friends out here, they driving other cars, $400, $500 payments. Used cars. So you're going to love it. Like the money is it stays in your bank account, which is our goal. All right, Dario, let's get to you, my man. I'm about to finance my first car at 23 years old with a 769 credit score. Wow. I guess I should have read that question before I just went off on that whole story about my niece and everything. Let's look at Dario's answer to the 8-year rule. Dario, did you answer the question? Dario, how many years are you going to keep this? 5 at least. This is the part. This is the part. This is the part where I don't know what to do. You get what I'm saying? Help me out here. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like there are times where I literally don't know what to do with this. Everybody, we talked about the 8-year rule, right? We went deep on the 8-year rule. I asked everybody I said, how many years are you keeping your next car? Everybody tapped in. 10, 8, 9, 7, 5, 3, 2. I said, okay. Step 1 is the leasing versus buying question. What's going to save me more money? If you are not keeping your car 8 years, you are absolutely overspending by not getting a below market lease. Then, which I didn't even count on, DJ Ant Nice comes and says, hey, man, you talked me into getting this lease because I want to save the most money possible, and I'm not keeping the car 8 years. Then I walk you through a scenario where my niece, her first car, she's 20, she's about to lease a Hyundai Sonata, and her payment's going to be $295 a month. Add that up, $295 a month for 3 years, $295 a month times 36 is $10,620. That is her payments over 3 years. $10,620 over 3 years, which means if we look at the $26,000 car she's getting, and then we look at the taxes and fees on that $20,000 car, we're probably going to be somewhere around $28,000. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong, y'all. I just pulled up the MSRPs on that car she's getting. It's $28,500. $28,500. She's paying a little over $10,000 to drive a $28,000 car that with taxes and fees would probably put her around $30,000. A little more, but let's just say you get a little discount, $30,000. She's paying. So if she bought this car, what would that car be worth in 3 years? What would that car, if she bought a $28,000 car, $28,000? Throw some numbers out there so we can really try to help Dario and the people who just, all right, may need us to go deeper on this. You might need me to go deeper on this. You might be like Dario, like, okay, Sean, I didn't grasp it. Let's go deeper on this. What would the car that she's getting, my niece is about to get for $28,000, $295 a month, what would that car be worth after 3 years? $28,000 car. KJ Wonder, it's in the bio. Just click that link in the bio. You'll see a link that says $24 welcome special. Go grab it and come on back to the stream. Anybody want to tap in? Thank you, DJ and Nice. I don't think that's right. So a $28,000 car after 3 years is worth 23? No. That's not after 3 years. That's probably like 1 year. After 1 year, it'll probably be worth 23. 15K depending on the brand. Paul, I think you're gonna lose more than. I don't know one car that sometimes like I don't know one car that depreciates $8,000 in 3 years. So I'm a conservative person when it comes to my numbers. That car is like, let's be real here. You don't buy a Hyundai Sonata, come back in 3 years, you paid $28,000 for it, come back in 3 years and they give you 20 for it. It's going to be more like 13,000, 15,000. What if you have an accident? You get what I'm saying? So, and unfortunately, you know what's hard about this? The only people who really understand depreciation and how much cars lose value are people who pay cash. It's very tough for you to see what you're really getting when you're a payment shopper. But as someone who never, listen, people would love to go into a dealership, get a car for $28,000, come back in 3 years and get $20,000. Come back in 3 years, get $18,000. I only lost $10,000. That doesn't happen. That's why people come back in 3 years and they're like, that's all I'm getting? So the point is, she's paying $10,000 of depreciation over a 3-year period. That's it. So in order to beat what she's about to get, or people who are getting below market leases, any people who are getting below market leases like we teach, you would have to get at least 20,000 to beat her. You would have to get at least, because she's only spending $10,000 over 3 years. And sold by foreign. Guys, this is not, this is really not up for debate. I am, and unfortunately, maybe the pandemic threw you off, because some of you, if that was like your first car you ever replaced, and you went and you got out of that car during the pandemic when every car was worth $7,000 to $12,000 more than it should have been worth. You can't do that today. And we had people right after the pandemic writing me saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then I'll go and trade that and get all my money back like I just did before. No. That was a very rare case of limited supply, the supply chain of cars. Now, we might see that again with tariffs. When tariffs come, we might actually see our cars appreciate, because the whole new car market is going to be more expensive. But cars are not, literally the depreciation curve on most cars are 15% the first year, sometimes 20, another 15% the second year, 10%, 5%, and then it gets smaller. Once you get to about 7 years, the depreciation starts to cool off. You're losing 50% of the value in the first 5 years. And if you drive a lot, you're going to lose it quicker. So when we look at paying a small amount of money for a expensive car, that's what leasing is. So there's no, when you, and let's wrap it up like this. If she would have bought this car, this same, because this is really a leasing versus buying lesson. And I don't know, however deep we need to go on it, that's how much deep we need to go until some people it clicks, because it may not click for everyone. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can, which is why I'm only talking about what's coming out of your bank account. Like, isn't that what we're supposed to care about? But for some reason, some of us are thinking about other things when it comes to cars. We go into somewhere else. So let's look at if she would have bought this same car, the same $28,000 car with taxes and fees, probably about 31 and change. But let's just round it off to 30. What's her car payment, everyone? Those of you who know the rule, every $5,000 is about how much per month on a loan? Every $5,000 is about how much on a loan? Now, every 5,000, thank you, DJ Ant Nice, you got it, $100. So again, these are videos that I make that, thank God, has been seen hundreds of thousands of times, some of them into the million. Every $5,000 is about $100 per month on a 5-year loan. Yep, you got it, Jamel. So what would this car cost her that was 30? Thank you, Tony, man. It would cost her $600 a month. So the same car that she's leasing for $295 a month would cost her $600 a month if she wanted to purchase it. Now let's throw one more scenario in there. Let's say she finds one for this price that yours truly said, about $18,000. She gets a 3-year-old used one. 3-year-old used car, good mileage on it, taxes and fees. She's a little over, let's round it off to $20,000. What's her payment? What's her payment for a 3-year-old used version of what she's getting new right now? $400. So where does it make sense to purchase at? Thank you, D-Boss. On TikTok, we see you. We are live. This is our Monday, May 12th live show. We're live from 12 to about 1:30 Eastern time, Monday through Thursday. Mark your calendars so you don't miss a show. 400. Where does it make sense at? I'm on my 7th lease. Where can you tell me that it makes sense at, unless you're one of the people, like, let's go back to Paul, who's keeping his next car 10 years. Let's go to, Paul on Facebook. Let's go to who else we got? We got a bunch of people that said 8 to 10. Nope, not too many. That's why I read all of that, and I'm like, yo, all of you people should be leasing 10 years. Wait, nope. I can't find many of you who said you were going to be keeping more than 8 years. So where does it make sense at? That's 3 scenarios where we took the same exact car that she's about to get for $295 a month, brand new 2025. We said, okay, if she got the same deal on that new car, she'd be paying $600 a month for 5 years. If she took it for a 6-year loan, she'd probably get her payment down to $500, but that's for 6 years. And again, she's not keeping the car that long. So when she goes to replace it, she's probably going to have negative equity in 3 years, like most people. Come back, every single car transaction you do, oh, I'm replacing it. Oh, you got negative equity. Oh, dang, how? This is how. And then we took another scenario of her buying a pre-owned one, and her payment on a 3-year-old one with 1 year left of warranty is higher than her payment on the new one. Where does it make sense? Thank you, Tony, man. It doesn't. It doesn't. Listen, depends on the interest rate and the length of the loan. We always, this is an average interest rate. So it's not going to be, your interest rate isn't moving you from from every $5,000 on a loan being $100 a month to every $5,000 on a loan being, $50 a month. No, it's not the way it works. Good interest rate, maybe every $5,000 is $90, 85 tops. It's not 50, to the point where, and this is how people get in trouble. That's why our people don't get in trouble, because they don't go in looking at a $20,000 or $30,000 car saying, oh man, I'm gonna get that to $400 a month with no money down. Yeah, you'll get it to $400 a month with no money down. Your loan's gonna be 96 months. So when we have these boundaries, this is how we move. We're not even talking about the bidding process. We're talking about the bidding process is how we get the dealers to give us the best prices. Right now, what we're talking about is structuring our deals. Because if you go out and you get a great deal on a purchase, but you should have leased, you got a bad deal. You got a bad deal. If you go out and you get a great deal on a purchase, let's just say she gets $5,000 off this car. So instead of 30, she purchased it, she got them to knock off $5,000. Her payment still, instead of $30,000, it's $25,500 a month. Thank you, Just Enjoy, appreciate it. It's fine. So a great deal on a purchase, when you are not keeping the car 8 years, is a bad deal, because it cannot compare to if you had gotten a below market lease. It just doesn't compare. That's why I'm showing you these numbers. I'm a math person. I was in calculus as a junior. I love math. And my goal is to try to make the math simple by just showing y'all, hey, here's 3 scenarios: new car, used car, lease. Here are the numbers: $600 a month, $400 a month for the used car, $295 a month for the lease. But we say we want to save money. We say, oh man, things are getting more expensive. Money's important. But we're still letting old mindsets make us do things that don't serve us, because we were taught that, even though it makes no financial sense. So the hardest thing that I have to do is get you to unlearn what you have been taught. That's why I represent this brand, because I realize I can't do anything for you until you get rid of the bad stuff that you picked up. You didn't go to school and you were indoctrinated into, this is how they taught me to get cars, even though it makes no sense. It creates buyer's remorse. You leave the dealership hoping you got a good deal. I hope I did all right. You wouldn't bet a dime on it if somebody came up to you, hey, would you bet money that you really didn't get a good deal? You would be like, oh no, I wouldn't take that bet. I don't. No, you have no confidence, no guarantees, nothing. And this is what people are still staying in. So when we talk, we're inviting you to the new way. We call it, this is the new way. And so everything that we're talking about, you can get in my literally my video, my step-by-step checklist. Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealership. You don't have to worry about trying to remember this. You can literally get it in book form. It's a digital book. You don't have to wait for the mail. And the thing about the digital book is when something new happens, I update the book. Like a year ago, we had Room in the book. Room went out of business. If you had a physical copy that you had bought, now here I am talking to you about, oh, now guys, you got to get volume 2. No, I just went in, we update the master file, Room's going, process stays the same. So that's the thing. So it's normally $97, but as part of our book launch special, you can get your copy for $24, 75% off. It's a 2-hour only offer. So next 2 hours, if you visited, you'll see the timer. Once it gets to 0, the investment is $97, and it's worth every single penny. The return on that $97 will be incredible. But if you get there before the offer expires, you get yours for $24. So head to my TikTok bio, click that link, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. We have a link there for you. Grab your copy for 75% off. All right. All right, Dolan, let's go. We got time for a couple more questions. Okay, I'm shopping for a 2018 to 2019 Platinum Escalade. Should I buy in town, or what do you feel about delivery charges from out of town? I would compare. So it goes back to what we started talking about on the in the show when we first started. Total. This is why you need to know the original price. So when you know the original price, what you're looking at, and this is everyone who's shopping for a used car. Without knowing the original price, you're just grabbing at straws. You're buying based on made up prices. You don't know. How do I know he's asking $65,000 for it? How do we know that's a good price? You don't. Buyer's remorse prone. Zero confidence in what you pay. But when we know the new price, oh, the original price of this one was $102,000. Original price of this one was $110,000. Original price of this one was $90,000. And when we get into more expensive cars, the losses become way more. To whom much is given, much is also required. So the losses on 80, 90,000, 200 Bentleys, Rolls Royces, the losses become multiplied dramatically. So if we knew, okay, this one was originally $102,000, they're offering this for $60,000. Oh man, they're giving me, 50, they're giving me 45% off. Oh man, this one right here was originally $90,000, but they're offering it to me for, $64,000. Well, they're only giving me 30% off. So you'll look, without knowing the original price, you're buying the wrong car because you're not buying based on value. You're buying based on made up prices. We think this is a good price in the market, but what is the discount off the new vehicle? That's the only thing. And then you use that and you say, okay, well, this one's giving me 45% off. It has 29,000 miles. This one's giving me 30% off. It only has 15,000 miles, and you can judge more accurately. You can judge accurately when you know real discounts versus nothing. So we must know how to get the new price. I mentioned it. Some brands have a agreement with Carfax. You can get it on the Carfax. Some brands have and some brands you can go to Google and Google the window sticker or the Maroni label, and you can get it that way. And then you'll see some companies that may sell it. But again, I'm never buying a used car without knowing the original price. And anyone who's listening to me and using the Cars from Home system, none of these people, Christy, look, none of these people, Milligan, Courtney, Melissa, Sheree, Ken, none of these people are buying a used car without knowing the price, the original price. That's how they get you. So when we look at what the price is with delivery, we're just factoring that in to the overall. So with the delivery, I'm still getting 42% off the original price. With the delivery, I'm still getting, so you factor all in cost compared to the original MSRP, and that tells you what the good deal is or what is not the good deal. And many of you, you're gonna see, whoa, I've been buying used cars that really don't have, because you're gonna pass on a lot of cars. Once you actually start using what we teach, it's an elimination system. It's a sorting process. We weed out the garbage. So a lot of the cars that you would have normally gotten thinking it was the good deal, you're gonna see, whoa, if I didn't know this, I would have got that car, because that car is $2,000 less money online. But when I got the original MSRP, I see that this car has $20,000 more equipment in it. MSRP of this car was 105. MSRP of this car is 85. Whoa. And it might not be that dramatic, but sometimes especially on some luxury cars, it will be. It'll be that different. So this is how we gauge value. So when we pull off in the dealership, you see people, they send their numbers. You're going to be quick to write me. Man, I can't wait to write Deshone and tell him about this. I can't wait. Man, you're going to be just like all of these other people, all these people we show. Rosalie, I can't wait to write him because I am confident in my deal now. Like, whoa, bro, I just got a used car. I got 48% off the original price. Man, confidence. Would you bet money that you couldn't have got a better? No, yeah, I bet money, man. I did my research, man. I stayed at home. I used the internet like you walked me through it. There was no better deal. I had to, and you know how I know? There's a couple signals that I look for. People will say, man, I had to drive an hour and a half to pick this thing up. I'm like, I know you did it right. People want that neighborhood dealer to be, oh, that's my dealer. You own it? No. Somebody did that. Hey, yeah, I work out with a guy at the gym. He came up to me one day. He said, yeah, because I went to my dealer the other day. And, they was telling me. So when I hear this, that just literally is like, oh, you own a dealership? Oh, no. I mean, you mean the dealer that sells you cars and services? Yes. Okay. See, it's just these are not our friends. People inviting their car salesmen to their barbecues. Start making them bid. Watch how quick you see Charlie is not coming to the barbecues anymore. You got your car salesman coming to the barbecues with you. Hey, how many cars? Oh man, this is Charlie. Charlie, let me introduce you to my neighbor Jane. Charlie's been selling our family cars for years. Charlie's like, yeah, hey Jane. Yeah, hey, listen, Charlie, how long we known each other? Well, I knew your grandfather first. Yeah, listen, Charlie, hey, watch you start one transaction where Charlie gets a message, your message from online. Hey, this is Nicole Stewart. I'm looking for this car. We have all of these templates in my book too, so you don't even have to think about what you're going to write. You just copy and paste them. Hey, phone's going to be ringing for him. Now, we use a shopping email and a shopping phone number. We never give the dealerships our phone number. We don't want dealerships coming to our personal phone number. We use a Google Voice and we create a brand new Gmail. So you look and next thing you know, you're getting a phone call. Hey, Miss Stewart. Hey, Nicole. Calls you by your first name because, he knows your grandfather and everything. Hey, Nicole, I just got the email saying you wanted to get some you were shopping online. Like, what? Come on. So when are you coming in? You come on in. No, actually, I decided I'm going to get a couple offers. I just want to make sure. Now Charlie has to compete. Now Charlie has to compete. And you're going to see that Charlie doesn't like to compete. He likes to make you think he gives you a great deal. And what you're going to see is Charlie's not going to win that battle all the time. Now, sometimes they'll go to bat and say, listen, I just got to do. But if he works for an 80% dealer, they're not going to let him go low enough to sell the car to you and win the bid. They're not going to let it happen. He can't do it. And then Charlie, that'll be the last barbecue that Charlie came to. Last barbecue. Oh, man. So, wait a minute, Molly. Pull up Molly on Facebook's comment. Dolan, she just commented. We are live, y'all. This is our Monday, May 12th show. We do these shows from Monday through Thursday, 12 noon to about 1:30. So make sure you set your calendars and tell your friends and family, because they're out there shopping right now and they're getting their heads chopped off. I hope YouTube doesn't censor me for that, but they are. And if we were to look at their car deals compared to what our people are paying, you would be like, yo, they got. So pull up Molly's comment, please. Okay, there we go. After listening to you, okay, I got called in for another option of SUV I ordered, and boom, they had over $6,840 in options. Ceramic coating, tint, theft protection, yet they kept going down on the price but never removed it. I left. See, and this is, so there's two. One thing you did wise was to not take the deal. What I want you to get to is the point where people can no longer waste your time. When you get to a point, see, with all of you using the Cars from Home system in my digital book, it's impossible to have anyone waste your time. Because when they waste your time, they actually still feel like they won. I'm going to tell you why. We're going to sell this car to someone else, and you still need a car. So that's why that's a reason why who's heard wait till the end, this bad negotiating advice, wait till the end to tell them you have a trade. They know that they literally will do this whole negotiation. You've been in there for 3 hours, 4 hours. Now you spring your trade in on them, and they know, well, we don't have to give her what she wants. We don't have to give her $16,000. Yeah, offer her 14. Offer her 14. Because she's been in here negotiating back and forth. We already dropped our price a little bit. We still got profit we're making, but listen, let's try to make some of that back on the trade-in. All right, offer her 14. Now you've been in here and you're like, no, wait, I know I could get 16 for it. Listen, the car's worth 14. I mean, listen, if you could get 16, God bless. Now they're in a position of strength, because if you walk away, you still need a car. You've wasted hours of your time. And if you take the deal, they won. So it's like some people be like, man, because that's what they're thinking about. You know how many people say, Dad, all right, I know I feel like I could get 16, but do I really want to go through this all over again? All right, let's just do the deal. Lost. Didn't get the money for their trade-in. Have no idea if they're getting a good price on the new car. They haven't gotten other offers. That's the car business. That's what 95% of people do. That's the car business. Leave thousands on the table. And now we can talk about the 3 pillars of great car deals, because that actually ties into what we're talking about here. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Helping out the community. Listen, I help everybody willing to listen. I have the benefit of actually teaching something that is so effective. I get hundreds of people that write me and send me deals and get results. So I have a real-time gauge on how we're doing. Real time. Versus somebody who sells stuff, but they don't really care about the result. So you'll buy stuff and you're like, whoa, this is not the result I thought I was going to get. All we do is hold ourselves accountable to the results. And as long as we keep getting these emails in, as long as we keep getting people writing us, taking pictures, sending stuff, we know people out here getting the same types of deals that I would be getting. And that's what I want. I don't want anyone taking a deal that I wouldn't take. As somebody who's done thousands of transactions with Mercedes and General Motors, leased 7 cars. I'm the one my friends call. They've been calling me for 7 years, 8 years. Deshone, all right, man, I need a car. I'm good. Listen, this is what I do. And the way that we give them peace of mind is the comparison offers. You only have peace of mind with comparative offers. There's nothing else. That's why you can buy spaghetti sauce, and that's why you can buy a TV on Amazon in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Because you're going to go through, boom, okay, all right, let me check Walmart.com. All right, let me check this site. All right, let me check this site. All right, this one's the best. You spend $800, $400 in 15, 20 minutes. And not feel buyer's remorse because you've seen the options. Buyer's remorse comes from not seeing other options. It's that simple. All right, let's go. All right, Dolan, we got time for. All right, yeah, throw another one in, Dolan. Let's go. All right. Okay, 2015 Mercedes-Benz C-Class C300. Hey, wait a minute. R. Hunter Photography just got the book, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Congratulations. Everyone who got your book, just type book in the comment section. I just want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for those. If you have the book or if you just got the book, just type book. Thank you so much, R. Hunter Photography. Appreciate you. Make sure you send me your success story. That's what I care, whether you buy, lease, or purchase. Even when you use the bank bidding war, show me, hey, yo, this bank was at this interest rate, this bank was at this interest rate, and then the dealer got me this. Write me all of that stuff. I love hearing all of that. Michael, good to see you. Michael McLaurin on TikTok. Thank you so much. Use it and win. Use it and win. I want that book to return to you $5,000 to $10,000 per deal. So every single time you do a car deal, that book should be returning to you $5,000 to $10,000 per deal. All right, 2015 Mercedes C-Class, 85,000 miles. What are you thinking? See, there's nothing there. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing there. You have nothing to compare it to. Now, here's the thing. We teach something in the book called, and we still got to go to the 3 pillars of great car deals again. But there's nothing, we teach something, there's no boundaries in car buying. There haven't been no boundaries. For example, let's talk about the most expensive purchase most people make. Now, in this case, sometimes it's people's cars because people aren't buying houses as much as they used to. But the most expensive purchase people make is their house. Would anyone on here get a 40-year mortgage? Anybody? Yes or no? Thanks, EJ. Enjoy the book. I can't wait to hear from you. Anyone? Would anyone get a 40-year mortgage? Anybody? We got smart people on here. Anybody signing up for the 40-year mortgage? No. Okay. So if no one's signing up for the 40-year mortgage, the question is why? Why? Because we know that's too long. If you got to take a 40-year mortgage, go. God bless you. Yes, go get you. God bless you. Hope she's well. And I'm glad you got your book, Daryl. Would anyone and you don't have to worry about reading it. It's a step by step. It's a checklist. So do one step, check that step off. Next step, check. Boom. That's how it is. Because there's a built-in. It's been built into our education. You don't take a mortgage longer than 30 years. And if you want to be super conservative and you can afford it, take a 15-year mortgage. But we don't go 40. We don't go 50. They're available. That's the same thing with 8-year car loans, 7-year car loans. And when we look at, so we have something called the rule of 72, which is 6 years. and the 10th birthday. What this says is you should never take a loan longer than 6 years, 72 months, and you should have the car paid off by the 10th birthday. Now, why? Because when I was in Mercedes, people who would come out is two people who hate, this is actually the same person. They hate Mercedes. They hate BMW. Why? Because they had an older one, no warranty, and they could not afford the maintenance and the repairs on top of the money they were paying for it. They hate it. You ever hear people say, oh, never buy that, man. I had one of those. It was a money pit. It was a money pit because you bought one that you wanted to shoehorn your way into the car. You couldn't afford the one that had the warranty, 3 years, 4 years old, buy an extended warranty, keep it 8, 9, 10 years, pay the car off in 5 or 6, and then you have, a couple years with no payment. You still have money to the side for your maintenance and your repairs when things go wrong. No, you bought one right from the start with no warranty because you wanted to be in a Mercedes. And they come out crying. You could just see it welling up in their eyes. We know, we've seen it too many times. That's a brand that people without any affordability index, they're going to buy cars that they cannot afford because they can afford the payment. And the saying is, if you can't afford to maintain it and repair it, you can't afford the car. So we never want a car that has a loan on it past the 10th birthday. That's an affordability gauge. That means I'm looking at a 6-year-old car. Car is 6 years old, 4-year loan. The amount of the number of years on the car, and this is in my book. Nothing I'm telling y'all is me coming off the top of my head or off the fly. I'm teaching you out of my book. That's what these shows are. I'm literally, when you are reading the book, I remember Deshone talking about this on the stream. Oh, I remember Deshone said this on the show. Everything I'm teaching you on the show is my book. So you can understand. I'm not winging any of this stuff. But when you look at the rule of 72 on the 10th birthday, it says the age of the car and the number of years on the loan should not go past 10. So if you're looking at a 5-year-old car, that already says my budget can only afford 5 years old. Like I can't get 4 years, 3 years old, which means I need a 5-year loan. If I'm looking at a 4-year-old car, I could do a 10-year loan. I mean a 6-year loan, because that's under 10. If I'm looking at a 3-year-old car, I can do a 6-year loan. 2-year-old car, 6-year loan. But if I'm looking at a 7-year-old car, 3-year loan. And what you're going to see is, wow, when I use that, Deshone, I see there's certain cars I can't afford. Correct. Correct. Because you can't afford the car to begin with if you need to get a 6-year loan on a 7-year-old car. Does that make sense? Type $ if that makes sense. Type a $ if you're getting this. Type a $ and let me know you're getting this. Never heard of a 40-year mortgage. Exactly, Artelis on Instagram. I didn't hear about it until I started teaching this. Because the reason we created the rule of 72 on the 10th birthday is because we wanted to bring the same standards that they have in mortgages to the car business. There are people who only get a 3-year loan on a car or a 4-year loan on a car. That's like a 15-year mortgage, short-term mortgage. And then there's people who say, all right, I want to do a more average 5 or 6-year loan. That's your 30-year mortgage. But when you start going to 7-year loans, that's 84 months on a car, you're moving to like a 40-year mortgage. You are going past affordability. This is a sign. This is a red flag. I cannot afford this car. I cannot afford this car. Let me look at less car. Let me look at what I can sacrifice. We talked about that earlier. Can I sacrifice size? You don't usually want to do that unless you're getting a car that's just big for no reason. Oh, I just like big cars. Well, you might not want to get a big car in this time. You might want to go smaller. But never get a car that doesn't cover your needs in terms of size. What you really want to look at is amenities. All right, I don't need the big sunroof and the leather and all of this stuff. You know what? Let me go to the next amenities down. Class. So you're like, oh man, I'm used to driving Lexus. I'm used to driving Mercedes. I'm used to driving Genesis. I'm used to driving Infinity, Acura. No, maybe you got to go down to the next class. You'll save $5,000-$7,000 going to a lower class of vehicle. These are the things that you want to be looking at. This is how you want to approach. This is how you don't. This is how we win. This is how you understand your car transactions versus just like, all right, time to get a car. Can you just do this for me, Mr. Person who I know is going to make money on me, and it's your job to make money and they're going to fire you if you don't make money on me? Could you just get me the best deal possible? No. EJ, thank you. Ray, getting value out of it. I see you. Awesome. Deshone, how much should we try to negotiate out the door? That's a bidding process. See, that's a feeling for, we don't worry about that. I'm going to tell you why. Some deals, their best deal is going to be $10,000 off. Some cars, the best deal is going to be $5,000 off. Give you an example. In some deals, the best deal is going to be, you're not ready for this, almost $30,000 off. Now, let me show you each one. So when you look at, where's Tiffany? So Tiffany, no, that's Chris. Hold on. That's Kanika. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let's go to the. So the question you're asking reflects normal negotiation, which is we're feeling for the bottom. We don't really know where the bottom is. We're feeling for the bottom. And you're feeling for the bottom, it's a losing strategy because you don't know how deep, you don't know how low the bottom is. When you feel like in your gut, okay, I think this feels like the bottom, you take the deal. Losing strategy. Because the bottom is different for everyone. So you look at somebody like Sean. Sean gets 15, he bought an F-150 Lightning. He got, with the discount from the dealer and the hidden money, unadvertised rebates, over $20,000 off his F-150 Lightning. Over $20,000 off. Now, you look at somebody who, let's see if we can find Kimberly. Kimberly, when she got her Maserati, I love just keeping Kimberly up because she's like, you know, she got over $20,000 off her brand new Maserati when she got it, even though it was last year. But I want to look for a smaller deal. So I think I might have took Tiffany's down. Hold on. Because Tiffany got a Mazda. Hold on. I used the strategy in your book. Hold on. Tiffany got a Mazda, and when she got her bids, her best offer was $6,300 off. That was the best offer on that car. But she had other offers that were $3,000 off, $2,000 off, sticker price, over sticker. That was $63,000 off, $6,300 off. Then you look at somebody like Milligan. Milligan got the biggest discount I've ever seen in my life. She got a $79,000 car. She got her bids, and she got almost $30,000 off. It's $79,000. She paid $51,359. Brand new car. Brand new car. Brand new car. So do you see that if we're trying to feel for the bottom, let's say you think, all right, $3,000 off. I guess that's a good deal. You're getting beheaded. So we cannot feel for the bottom. That is buyer's remorse prone. That is how we have buyer's remorse. The only thing we do is we sit at home, we get bids. That's the name of the game. When you are getting bids, life changes. You now know, oh, this deal is taking off 8. This deal is taking off 2. This deal is taking off 8. This deal is taking off 10. This deal is taking off nothing. Oh, the $10,000 dealer wins the bid. You took off $10,000. That was the bottom. And again, we use the 25-to-5 strategy where I show you how to connect with 25 dealers in 20 minutes from home. You get your bids. You want to call around, do it by phone, call and get your bids by phone. We do this by email without talking. That is what's in my book. That's how we do it. So everything we talked about is in my new digital book. Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Normally $97, part of our welcome offer. You get your copy for $24. That's 75% off. In my TikTok bio, click that link. My Instagram bio, click that link. Or YouTube comments in the Facebook comments, deshonsbook.com. 2 hours, get your $24 and let that continue to make money for you and keep money in your family. We didn't talk about. We didn't talk about selling leases and equity in leases. We didn't talk about the bank bidding wars. We didn't talk about, we dig deep on leasing versus buying. We hit on a lot. We hit on a lot today. Now, for those of you who are like, Deshone, I'm just meeting you, I don't really trust you yet, then start with my free cheat sheets. Dolan will put a link for you. You can go to DeshonesCheatSheets.com, put a link in the comments, and just start with my free cheat sheets. We've given thousands of people have started with my free cheat sheets. That'll expose you to the Cars from Home world, because once you see the value, like, wow, this is what Deshone's giving us for free. What is in the book? The book is your step-by-step checklist, step-by-step blueprint. But if you're like, you know what, let me just get started with the cheat sheets, go grab the cheat sheets. Now, mark your calendars. We're here Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Show usually lasts about 90 minutes. You can bring your questions. You might be watching this on a replay, because you'll see a lot of people ask the same question you would have asked. But mark your calendar so you don't miss a show. We'll be back, and then we'll run the whole replays all through the weekend for those who couldn't be here during the week. So I'm going to start. I might start doing something for people who bring people. Write me some ideas, because what I really want is I want to come up with something, a way to reward people who share. That's why I wanted to give a free copy of my book to our nurse on TikTok. You know, like, I want to come up with something for people that bring people, that help me actually spread this message. DM me some ideas, and I'll watch that. I can't read all the DMs, but I will certainly start that DM with, you know, I have an idea, and then I'll know that's you, because I want to come up with something specifically for the people who share. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. This has been our show. Congratulations to everybody that got the book. Make sure you send me your success stories. Email me when you get your cars. I want to hear all about it. All right. God bless you.